now. Ralphie, with some injury news before we get into Wreck-It Ralph, the Hawks have had to activate their sub.
That's correct. So Hawthorn will be worried that Connor McDonald has suffered the same type of low-level syndesmosis we saw with James Worpel a couple of weeks back in opening round. You see what happens here. Players aren't dumped anymore. The hips gets dropped, and all of a sudden that means that their ankle can get trapped under them rather than the old-fashioned ankle roll. So the fact that you get out there and do some run-throughs means that it might be a better prognostication than Worpel, which was 3 to 4 weeks. But, yeah, a very sore boy. You'd imagine he'll potentially miss a couple of weeks. It's a bit of a worry, that tackle there, even though, of course, it doesn't result in the concussion from the dump tackle.
Yeah, well, you have to tackle them somehow. You've got to be able to do some way to bring them to the ground. So
exactly
this is the consequence. If you can't drive and you can't, take them, roll them over, you've got to pull them down, and that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
We're going to watch it one more time here.
You've got to allow the tackler to do something.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying you can't sling him, okay, well, I'll drag him down as I go. Otherwise, you're going to completely change the game by saying you're not allowed to take him to ground.
Well,
that fundamentally changes.
And if it eventually gets to that, that means you've got to call holding the ball in a split second.
Yep.
Before they even have the chance to take a tackle to ground, you just call holding the ball.
And I'd rather 2 week an ankle injury than a concussion as well.
Yep.
The game keeps on evolving. Ralphie, time for some Wreck-It Ralph action.
Okay, so we've got those prima donnas down at the boundary, so we might start with them. So 100 years of Footscray history. So Brad Johnson, who is the best forward in club history? Yes, you are absolutely eligible. And no, it is not the time for false modesty. The best forward in club history.
Oh, the best forward. I can't. Let me throw it to Eddie here.
No,
Eddie,
you can't.
who's the best forward in Footscray history?
I think Simon Beasley.
How did you know? I didn't expect that. I actually agree. Simon Beasley, most goals in Footscray history.
Okay, I like it. Eddie, pick me one player to play for the next decade, and it doesn't have to be the small forward. So Nick Watson, Sam Darcy, Harley Reid, or Sam Lawler after his impressive debut last week.
Ooh, that's a tough. I'm going to have to go with Harley Reid. Obviously a superstar. We can't judge him on just the one game he had this year, but last year coming onto the scene, he's an absolute superstar. So Harley for me.
Jason, will missing out on Ben Mackay be a blessing in disguise given the two new recruits out there for Hawthorn? Or as Brad Scott would say, is he being judged very unfairly off limited preparation?
Oh, he is, and there's a lot of mischief in your questions, Ralphie. As a club, you try to recruit good players. Ben Mackay's a good player. They missed out. They ended up getting a couple of really good players in Tom Barras and Josh Battle, so they're happy.
Joey, you danced around the Scott Penderbury equation last night on midweek. You talked about whether he's in the best midfield at Collingwood. Is he in their best 23 every single week?
Yeah, no, I wasn't meant to dance around it. He's absolutely in their best team. I just think he's maybe not as integral to the midfield, and so he shouldn't be. He's 37 years of age, that they can look to go to other players and play around him. So I think absolutely he's got a role, and I think he can play a beautiful role at half-back for the next 12, 18 months. I think they'll get him to the record, and so he should.
Jason, St Kilda, ouch. So is it time for Ross Lyon to just say it's a full-blown rebuild? We've talked dual narratives. We've won 22 games in the last 2 years. It is just time to go down to the bottom and then eventually come up to the top.
Oh, you're taking no prisoners, Ralphie, aren't you? Don't look at me like that, Joey. I would hate what they've put in place. You have to back in. You can't abandon it now. You can't sit there and say, hey, we've had a crack, but 2 weeks in we've decided, no, it's time to change. You've got to back it in at least to see the first half of the season, how it's unfolding. Maybe then you change, but not after 2 weeks, Ralphie. You need to pull up.
Ralphie, well played.
Thank you very much.
All right. Very mischievous indeed.